Hello, everyone. Are you ready for an amazing story? It's called The Adventure, and it's all about a journey to a world that's a little bit different.
Have you ever thought, what if? Like, what if something that happened a long, long time ago happened a different way? What would our world be like then? That's the big question in our story today.
So let's meet our hero. His name is Professor Gaitande, and he's a very smart man who loves history. One day, he's taking a train to Bombay, a trip he's done many, many times. But this time, something feels very, very strange. He looks at the train and, the letters on the side are all wrong. And look, there's a little flag painted on it that isn't supposed to be there. The professor starts to feel a little bit worried. Professor Gaitande knows a lot about history books, so he thinks, I know what to do. I'll go to a big library. The books will tell me what's going on.
Okay, so the professor gets off the train in Bombay, but wait a minute. This isn't the Bombay he knows at all. Things are about to get even weirder.
He walks out of the train station, looks up, and whoa, he sees a huge, important-looking building right in front of him.
And a big sign on the building says it belongs to the East India Company. The professor is so surprised. He thinks, no way. The East India Company should be gone. It disappeared a super, super long time ago. What is happening?
In the library, he finds out what changed. It was a big, important battle that happened a long time ago. In our history, one side lost. But in this world, that same side won the battle. And because they won, everything after that was completely different. The professor is like a detective now. He knows what changed, but he needs to find out how. What tiny little thing made that big battle go a different way?
So what does he do? First, he goes into the library. Then he starts reading his very own history books. He reads and reads and reads until he gets to the part about the big battle. He just knows the answer must be in there somewhere.
And then he finds it. He finds a clue in a special old book. It's the key to the whole mystery. The book says that during the big battle, a bullet went whoosh right past the leader's ear. Phew, that was close. It almost hit him, but it missed. Because the leader was safe, his army felt super brave and they won the battle. It was all because of that one little bullet. After he solves the mystery, something really strange happens. He goes to a big meeting, and he gets up on the stage when he isn't supposed to. The crowd gets really noisy, and then, poof, he just disappears. And guess what? He wakes up, and he's back in his own world, the world he knows. It felt like a dream, but he has proof that it was real. He runs to tell his friend, a scientist named Rajendra. Look at this. He has a piece of paper from the other world. In his pocket, he found a page from that special book. And when they look at the book from their own world, the stories are different. One says the bullet missed, and the other says the bullet hit the leader. So how can this be? How can there be two different stories about the same thing? It's a real puzzle. But his friend Rajendra, the scientist, has an idea. Rajendra thinks science can explain everything. He has some really cool ideas about how there can be more than one world. His first idea is about how one tiny thing can change everything. You know, like when you tip over just one domino and it makes a whole long line of dominoes fall down? Well, the battle was like that. That one little bullet that missed was like the very first domino. And his second idea is even cooler. What if there isn't just one world? What if there are lots of different worlds all happening at the same time, like different pages in a storybook? The professor just happened to turn the page and visit a different one for a little while. So here's the big idea, where Rajendra says there are lots of different worlds out there. The professor didn't go back in time, he just hopped over to a different world. And what made him hop? Well, right before he had an accident in his world, he was thinking really, really hard about that battle. And that thought might have been the magic key that let him visit the other world. Wow, isn't that an amazing story? It makes you think, right? If you could change just one little thing in history, what would you change? What would your new world be like? It's pretty fun to imagine.